Hey, what's going on? What's going on? It's your boy Shaq the Shark. Right now, I'm actually at my credit office, my credit shark's office, as you can see on the door. And I wanted to make this video because I know a lot of people ask this question with how do you actually fix your credit? Here at Credit Sharks, we've helped hundreds, if not thousands, of clients this year alone get their credit back to where they want it to be in order to secure different funding, buy houses, various different reasons. People may have had something come up on their credit that they weren't expecting, fraudulent, or, just things that's prohibiting them from securing the money that they need. And they come to us in order to rectify that situation. So again, we've used these methods to help hundreds, if not thousands of clients this year alone. Like we've serviced so many people, it is not even funny. And I wanted to just share some information with you guys to teach you how to do it yourself so you don't have to pay anybody to fix your credit at all. Because the reality is you can do it yourself. Now, it is time consuming, and you do have to be a little patient with the process. I know a lot of the time, whenever we do things, in this society, we want instant gratification. But the reality is that's exactly what you cannot have, that mindset where you want it to happen overnight, right? Building credit is a time-consuming process. Repairing credit can be a time-consuming process. But if you follow the process, I promise you, you will be able to change your situation. So first things first, right? You want to be able to go get your credit report. One of the things that I recommend is you not use a free credit report agency. I know a lot of people look at their credit on Credit Karma or some of these different companies like Credit Karma where you can check it for free. Maybe you even use your bank app or your like a credit card app where they give you a score. That is not a good way of checking your credit profile completely to get all the accurate information. You want to go to a credit monitoring service that will give you all three of your FICO scores. And there's plenty of FICO scores. I'm not going to get into all of them right now, but you want to be able to check your full report and also check the accounts that's on your report. If you have anything that's a late payment, a collections, a bankruptcy, anything like that, you will need to see what they are, get the account number, see how long the actual account been on your credit profile. And, just make sure all the information on your credit profile is accurate. And even if you have information that's on your credit report that is accurate, you want to be able to challenge them to make sure that they can legally not only validate the debt, but verify the debt that it belongs on your personal credit report. So in order to do that, first things first, you want to go to the third-party data furnishers. I know most people only heard of the three credit bureaus, which is Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian. Those are the three bureaus that you think about when you think about your credit, but there are also four other data furnishing companies that most people don't know about. And those data furniture companies are super essential. And the reason is because of the eOscar system and that's what the credit bureaus use, the eOscar system, in order to verify or what they consider validate your debts whenever you challenge them, right? If you've ever tried to fix your credit before, then you probably know exactly what I'm talking about. If you send them a letter, they will say, hey, we've verified this debt belongs to you. The way they do that is an eOscar, their eOscar machine actually, the computer actually hit up these third-party data furnishing companies and see if they have the same exact information as far as your personal name. And if the debt is on those third-party data furnishing companies, then they just come back to you and say, hey, we verified this yours, right? So before you even send out a 609 letter, which if you don't know what that is, I'll explain a little. You want to opt out of these third-party data furniture companies. Now it's four of them that you want to opt out of, right? It's CoreLogic, it's LexisNexis, it's Innovis, and it's SageStream, right? All four of those companies, you want to go over to their website and opt out. When you opt out, basically what you're doing, you're letting the third-party data furniture companies know, hey, do not share my information with anybody else. I don't care who requested. You do not have my permission to share my information, right? And that's super critical because, like I said before, the credit bureaus use a system called eOscar that will try to verify your debt. Now, what you want to do is once you have the green light that you've been opted out of them sharing your information, you want to formulate a 609 letter, basically saying, hey, these accounts on my credit report are either invalid or, it's actually hurting my credit. Now, you can find the 609 letter in several different places. If you want, you can actually go over to my website and send us an email if you need actual document. We don't mind sharing that with you if you need it, and I'll make sure I put that in the description. I'll put our site as well in the description. But what you want to do is you want to formulate a 609 letter. Now, when you formulate this 609 letter, you want to backdate the letter 2 weeks. And the reason why I say that is just to get them actually working expeditiously. Because of credit laws, they actually have 30 days in order to respond to your dispute, right? Because you're disputing certain things on your credit report, they have 60 days in order to respond to that. And like I said before, it's 100% a computer at the credit bureaus that's operating. So whenever you backdate this letter for 2 weeks, and you're going to do it for each bureau, and send it out immediately, whenever they receive it, it's already going to have, it's going to be dated as if they've had that letter for 2 weeks. And since it's not an actual human person getting those letters, they will not recognize that you just dated that letter. And then the next thing that you want to do is you want to go to identitytheft.gov. If you had your identity stolen, you want to report that to identitytheft.gov. That is a really strong way in order to get them to work expeditiously, right? Another thing you want to do is make a report with the CFPB, right? That's actually the governing company that governs over the credit bureaus. So if they're violating anything, right, the CFPB is who will basically chastise them for violating. So the CFPB actually have a computer as well that will communicate with the eOscar computer, because all of this stuff is automated. It's millions of credit profiles that exist, and there's millions of people disputing things on their credit profile every day. So it's not really a human experience most of the time. So what you do is when you send that dispute with the CFPB, their computer will communicate with the computer over at the credit bureaus. And once they communicate with each other, they'll say, hey, this person said that they challenged things with your credit bureau and they didn't hear a response in a certain amount of time. Were you able to validate the debt? And then their computer is going to say, hey, yeah, they submitted this document on the date that you put on the document. And no, as of yet, we weren't able to validate this debt because the third-party company is not releasing the information that they would need in order to validate the debt. So in order for the credit bureaus to not get a fine or to not get in trouble, they would much rather eliminate whatever information is actually on your credit report that you're attempting to challenge rather than pay the penalties of violating your rights, right? So at that point, it puts you in a really strong position. Now, obviously, this science isn't always exact, and sometimes it may come back where you have to, send more letters and continuously do the process. Now, the key is to not let up. The key is to consistently send letters. You have to respond. You actually have to have a suite of documents. I actually have a credit guide that, if you wanted each page for each scenario, you need each 609 letter for each situation. We have that available. Right? I think that document is only like that ebook is only like $50, right? Something very minuscule if you need those documents. Now, I highly recommend you do these exactly how I say. We've been getting probably like 90%, of everything we challenge and knocked off within the first few months. But again, sometimes it goes even longer than that. It's not an exact science. You're actually dealing with people. You're actually dealing with a company. You're actually dealing with computers, right? And anything can happen. Everybody's credit situation is different. So there's no one size fit all for everybody's situation. But we do have some of the most aggressive methods that work. And what I'm teaching you guys right now will absolutely change a lot for a lot of people. Now, if they do respond and they don't give you what you want, you have to be diligent and you have to be consistent. You can't wait months on end to respond. The second they give you a correspondence, you want to respond back immediately, every single time, right? So just make sure you keep that in mind. And that's pretty much how you do it. That's how we do it here at our office, right? And you want to make sure if you are sending it in the mail or electronically, because we send it electronically, we don't do the mailing thing anymore. But if you are sending it via mail, make sure you can actually see when it was delivered and all of that. Make sure you keep a record of that so that the credit bureaus know that, hey, they have tracking on this. They know that we received this document because they definitely pay attention to that type of stuff. So that's just some tips. Make sure you always include your social security number or a copy of your social security card, also a copy of your ID, and a copy of your utility bill whenever you're sending these 609 letters. That is super essential so they can verify your identity and they won't respond back basically saying, hey, we don't know if this is really you or whatever, because they like to do that to waste time. But you want to make sure you have all your documents together. And when you send documents, you always want to have those extra documents with it as well. Now, with all that in mind, that's really pretty much it, right? I know it seems like it's probably a lot more difficult than that. It's really not. You just have to be really consistent and really diligent and make sure you're being very responsive and reading the correspondence and understanding what they're talking about, right? At our company, we help people secure funding off of their actual credit report and turn that funding into cash flow. Now, if you have credit challenges and you can't figure out, you got the ebook or you got your own 609 letters, that's great, and you still can't manage to figure it out, you can go over to our website at creditsharks.com and click get started. It's going to ask for your information. We'll give you a free consultation. And if you want to hire our team in order to help fix your credit for you, we're more than happy to do that and also help you secure funding on the back end once your credit is up to standard, because that's what we do. That's what we focus on here at Credit Sharks, right? So that's pretty much it. I wanted to teach you guys this because I personally was struggling with my credit when I first started attempting to get on this credit journey. I had a 525 credit score and I was able to boost mine to a 790, and I didn't understand all this information that I'm teaching you guys right now, and I was just kind of playing trial and error, and it took me a lot longer than it'll take you if you implement the information that I just gave you. And that's pretty much it. I appreciate you guys for taking the time. I'm going to show you guys our website, and just make sure you go on over there. And if you like this information, make sure you leave a comment letting us know. Give us a thumbs up. Subscribe to our channel. Subscribe to my channel. And share this with anybody else who's really trying to change their credit situation, so they can continue to excel and grow and progress as well. Because if like I know, then credit is the true way to become financially free. All right, have a good one, guys.